Hey, what's going on YouTube viewers? Hey, this is Phoenix and welcome back to the channel. On this episode, we're going to talk about how to upgrade our M95s, our M92 PAPs, okay, using Magpul accessories. Alright, so we're kind of going to just jump straight into it. I had a lot of subscribers ask me to do this video, so this is for y'all. Alright, so the first example I'm going to show you is going to be using the Magpul Zukov 74U handguard. Okay, and of course with this mod you're going to have to cut off the handguard retainer clip. But I chose to use the 74U version because it is a shorter handguard. It's lighter, and also it's better. It's way better. Okay, I got tired of using the smaller handguard, and I wanted something that was like in the in-between mark. All right, so I like it, so I'm using that on this particular M85. The second one is the shorter brother, little brother, okay, which is the Magpul handguard. Okay, now I'm going to apologize in advance. I told a lot of people in the beginning of my first video that I came out with, they had to cut off the handguard retainer clip. My methods of modification have gotten a whole lot better, and I'm here to tell you, you do not have to cut off your handguard retainer clip. You do not have to cut it at all, okay, so just giving you a heads up. So like I said, I apologize in advance. So alright, so here we go. So let's pop this thing off, and I'm going to show you what I've done. So if you notice, this is the original handguard retainer clip right here. No modifications to it. Only modifications I've done is to the handguard, the Magpul handguard. All right. So I have one that is unmodified and one that is highly modified. All right. Let's start with the rear part of this handguard, because the front part is where you're going to spend the majority of your time with. All right. So what you're going to have to do to the rear part of it, if you notice, if I can get these things. There we go. I highlighted the areas that need to be removed, okay? And this is going to be my reference. So I had to remove these tabs right here, and I remove them to where they're flat, okay? Okay, to that wall, you have to remove all these tabs all the way down, all right? If you notice this area right here, I had to remove that as well. Okay, and it should look like that. And if you notice the tabs underneath it, I had to remove those as well. So everything, I made it flush to the wall. All right, that is the very easiest part of this project. All right, if you notice this area right here, I moved that all the way back here to the wall as well. You're gonna have to do that. All right, now this is where it gets a little, you're gonna have to take your time. All right. So you're probably wondering, how were you able to mill this out without breaking the surface? Okay. If you notice, there is a molding line, which is right here. If I can get this thing to focus, there's a molding line right there. That is my reference point. All right. How did I get the correct height? Well, if you look at right here, your handguard retainer clip is going to fit right under it. Okay, it's going to fit right under it. So at the apex of the handguard retainer clip, which is going to be in this area, that is the area that I had to remove right here. The material I had to remove. So if you notice, I had to remove all that material, just that portion of it on both sides. I removed some material, I tried to fit it. I removed some more, I fitted some more, and I took my time with it. Make sure you wear it also. You're going to need a Dremel. If I didn't mention this, I probably didn't. A Dremel, eyewear, get you a mask, and it should turn out pretty well. I had a friend of mine, he gave me this bit right here. He used to work on airplanes, and this bit right here works wonders. And this is what I used to Dremel out that. Okay. All right. If you notice the center part right here, I had to dremel this out. That's where I highlighted because the collar of the handguard retainer clip is going to slide into that area right there. All right. You're going to notice that this is actually going to be probably the second to last thing that you do. Once you get it fitted in this area, once you press it back, it's going to make a imprint or not imprint, but it's going to have a pressure mark on this area, and that kind of gives you an idea where you need to remove the material from. Okay, so that's what I end up having to do. Alrighty, let's turn this thing over. Now, if you notice, I took a lot of material off of this. You do not have to take a lot of material. I messed up, but I'm just giving you a heads up. You're going to have a lot more material than I am. Okay, so the only thing you're going to have to do is just move a little bit from this portion up here, just a little bit. You see where this line is at? You can pop out your heat shield and you can cut it. You need to cut it. Okay, if you don't, it's not going to fit. So you need to cut that back behind this line, this wall right here. Okay. Once you've done that, fit it on, see how it fits, and it should go on easily. Okay, should go on easily. I'm gonna demonstrate that right now. If you have any questions, just leave them at the bottom, and I'd be glad to answer them. Okay. So you see how easy that went on. That went fairly easy. It is really solid, and I mean, it's just, I wish I would have taken more time in the beginning, but you know, you live and you learn, and that's just pretty much it. You live and learn. All right. So if you're wanting to use if you don't want to remove your handguard retainer clip, you go this route. Okay. All right. If you don't mind removing the handguard retainer clip, you're gonna go this route. All right. So let's take this can off real quick, and I can show you what I've done to this. So you have two options, with or without the handguard retainer clip. Everybody loves options. What do? Alright, let's take these screws out, and I'm going to show you what you have to do. Now, of course, this is going to be slightly different than my other video, because my other video I had to actually cut the chassis behind the threads, and with this one I don't have to, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, they made this chassis a whole lot lighter. Evidently they were listening to the customers regarding the heaviness of the chassis, so they made some different, they made it different. Okay. All right. So if you notice, the bottom of it has a U shape. Okay. On my last video, I actually cut behind the threads. So whenever I was adding my can to it, this one I didn't have to do that. The only thing I had to do was to mill out these corners right there, these two top corners. I milled those two top corners out, and I was able to thread my CNC Warrior adapter into there. If you have an Ultimac rail, you have to add a third hole under here so your Ultimac rail can fit on here. If you're just using your standard gas tube, you don't need it. If you have I think it's the Midway or Mid Industries gas tube, you don't need to do this mod back here, because the gas tube only presses against your front sight gas block. Okay, so hopefully this helps you out. Hopefully it helps you out a lot. So you have two methods of upgrading your M92 or your M85. This is how I upgraded mine. Alrighty. See what else I've done to it. Also, your sights. I know they came out with a peep sight. I was kind of juggling between if I want to, give this information out or not. But I actually added fiber optics to my rear sight, to both of these. And that's therefore when I'm out in the outside training, out in the sun, of course, so a little light, that's all I need is a little light, they light up, okay? So that's another method that you can, that's another tip for me to you. Alrighty, so hopefully, you don't have any questions, but if you have questions, feel free to leave me a comment at the bottom, and I'll be glad to answer them as always. I want y'all to stay safe. It is crazy out there. There's a lot of crazy people. There's a lot of crazy people out there doing crazy shit. Stay safe. Train. Be aware of your surroundings. Okay? Be aware of your surroundings. When you are in the grocery store, when you are in somewhere like at a restaurant, okay, you don't have to have tactical training, but just be aware. Okay? For instance, when you go to the grocery store, okay, make a trip around drive around the parking lot. Look for a spot you're gonna pull into. But once you get out, before you get out, look around. Just be aware. Just look around. When you get out of your car, look around. You'll see a lot of shady people. Okay, that's one way of being aware, being observant. When you are in the restaurant, don't sit with your back against to the door. Always face the door. Always face the door. Okay. Those are my little tips to me to you. All right. Because if you notice, if you look at the news, these crazy people are coming out they're coming out, and you see more and more of incidents taking place. All right. This is Phoenix. Be safe out there. Train, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.